Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. Great to see so many people in the chat. We've got Crypto Granny, we've got Support, Lazy Lab Rat, Silver and Gold Portugal, XRP GJT in the house. We've got Channing, Valiant Energy, aka John D. We've got Rain, we've got Anna, Jimmy Thing, VM, Becoming Meteorius. We've got Kretu, Javu, Wayteller, Death Ranger, Bobby in the house. Hope you're all well, and yeah, today's going to be a little bit different. We're going to start things off by doing an NFT reveal, and this is a highly anticipated project that I've tried my hardest to keep under wraps for so long that we're pretty much there. The light is at the end of the tunnel. So if I come back here, give me a second, there we go. This is it. It's launched on Sparkles. This is the very first NFT token ID 1, and this is a collection of 1,000. I just minted this for testing purposes, but yeah, I think it's time we get in and show you guys this beauty. Let me just make sure that the sound settings are good. So yeah, I hope you like it. This is the Flare Community Lucky Claw collection, and this is the Lucky Ball number 1. Let's have a peek, shall we? Sorry, Hugo. There we go. That's pretty much it. As you can see, there was a ball number revealed at the end, and it's really interesting, this full concept. Yeah, Crypto Granny, that might have been you in the red dress. Absolutely incredible. I'm sure you will agree visually, and the website is pretty much there, ready to go. Minting's probably going to start tomorrow for the Patreon family, maybe the day after for community YouTube members, and the general sale the day after. But I really want to just bring to your attention the sort of concept about it, right? Yeah, Death Ranger, I did spot that. I'm going to fix that. There's no worries. But yeah, this is basically the map, and it's more than just a general NFT collection, right? And I'm going to briefly run through this, but I'm going to expand on it in a dedicated video tomorrow, right? So what it comes down to is basically we've got the NFT holders here. You purchase it with FLR, obviously, and then you have the NFT yourself. And there's going to be 1,000 in the collection. And basically, what's going to happen is there's going to be a secret snapshot. I don't want to reveal too much about this, still in the works, but I do have to pay the animator. We come down here. In fact, let me blow this up a little bit. And what we have is the remaining FLR, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to delegate that, and we're going to claim each and every epoch. But each month, there's going to be a massive prize pool. So this fleur is going to go into the prize pool, and this is basically where the magic happens. Every month, there's going to be a draw for the holders. And what's basically going to happen is you can see all of these videos here. I've got 1,000 of them, each individual videos. And if I just quickly start this one, you can see at the end, a different ball is revealed. This one was number 225, and live on stream every month, we're going to sort of go through this process and see who wins it. So a 0.1% chance of winning each month for every NFT that you hold, and it's going to be drawn from this prize pool, right? And there's going to be a little bit more than just that, okay? I really want to leverage this platform that I've built up for the past 2 years. You know, I've got a really great exposure in terms of YouTube and the Twitter account, and I really want to use that to benefit the holders of this collection. So it's going to be a strong focus going forward. So here's what I'm basically thinking, right? I'm going to use the channel or offer it for people who may want to do some sponsorships, and that can be in many different forms. But one thing I will say is that I will be doing extensive project vetting. So, you know, this vetting procedure, it's going to be very strict, right? It's not going to be any project can just jump in. This is going to be well-established projects that we all know and that we all trust. And I may even leave the holders up to vote on who decides who we approach or who we consider for the sponsorships each month, right? Unfortunately, some will get rejected, so no hard feelings if you do get rejected. I just want to make sure that I'm not promoting anything that doesn't have history behind it, right? So if the project does get accepted and they want to offer promotion, I can offer a lot of different things via the exposure that I have through this platform. We can do Twitter competitions, YouTube videos, Twitter spaces, or YouTube podcasts, or maybe even playing a short intro on some of the videos, right? And I want to do this so that I can maximize the value for the NFT holders, because in exchange, what I will ask for is project assets, or maybe FLR or SGB, or maybe project NFTs, right? So what's going to happen is they give assets or NFTs in return for this exposure to give awareness to the project. All of this, 100% of this goes back into the prize pool, which is then part of the monthly draw, which goes back to obviously a random holder when we select one of these random videos. I'm going to write a quick program for that. And that's the basic premise. So there is a lot of things else that's going to go into this, as you can see on this side, but I don't want to get into that too much. This is just a quick, I guess, overview of the project, but you can expect a much more in detail video coming tomorrow, which sort of expands on all of this information. Now, one thing that I will say is that the Patreon family, as I said on here, Patreon family are going to get first dibs. The sale could even go live tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I will be dropping a message in the Patreon before. But basically, what's going to happen is the Patreon members will get a discount. So it actually works out cheaper in the fact that if you become a Patreon member, your discount will be, much less than the actual general minting price. So if you are interested in getting one, that's something to consider. And it's going to be 200 for the Patreon members, another 200 for the YouTube members, and finally 600 for general sale. So that's pretty much the gist of it. And as I said, I'll be breaking down this further in a video coming tomorrow. Jumping into the news now, I just wanted to remind everyone that there are a lot of scammers as the Flare network is gaining a little bit more popularity. I just wanted to remind everyone that your 24-word mnemonic seed phrase, or your secret phrase, or your seed phrase, or your private keys, they're actually all the same. So, you know, when a scammer tries to access these things, they won't say your private key, or they won't see your secret phrase, because that sort of suggests that you shouldn't be sharing it, right? So they're preying on these people who are maybe not so aware of this terminology. And, you know, a seed phrase, it doesn't sound so, I don't know, you might not think of it as serious as it is. But if anyone has access to any of these things, They're all basically the same, and they have access to your account. So just don't share any information with anyone. If they are asking for any of these details, they are 100% trying to scam you. So just a heads up there. Moving on to the signal providers, let's give this a quick refresh. This is flare-ftso-monitor.flare.network/data providers. A bit of a mouthful, but this is a great resource for those who want to get some statistics on the various signal providers and how well they're doing. So if you order by the reward rate descending, we can see that this epoch, Ivy Oracle is taking the lead. We've got Atlas TSO in second, FTSO Plus in third, Flare Oracle in fourth, and Notso in fifth. And that's on the Flare network. You can obviously swap here at the top as well to the Songbird network. And yeah, pretty much the same, I guess. Let's have a quick look. It'll probably be slightly different. There we go. So we've got Flare Dienst in first. We've got FlareFi in second. Evolve FTSO in third. And London FTSO in fourth. And finally, Use Your Spark in fifth. So it's interesting to see that the two networks do actually have some differences. Something to take note of, and yeah, pretty interesting. So moving on, this is something that is a hot topic at the moment. So the accuracy of the signal providers, we can just open this here, and I did provide a video on this actually a couple of days ago, I believe. But just look how accurate the FTSO system is. It's almost excessive, right? So this is the price for I don't know what this is, a price. Ethereum, there we go, right? So you can see that it's within, you know, a couple of pence discrepancy. If you want to get in on the reward band, you have to be extremely accurate. And, you know, this is what the new proposal is actually going to change. So let me just read this out for you. Accuracy of the FTSO is important, but this is definitely excessive. There is a trade-off to be had, and the idea is that a lower but still extremely accurate signal could be exchanged for a more inclusive system by rewarding a wider range of signal providers. And that's what STP02 addresses. So STP being the Songbird test proposal. You can read all about it here. I'd highly recommend you do so because this is actually going to go live for voting in the very near future. The process is pretty simple. It's going to basically propose an extension or a second reward band that is much wider. So a lot more of the signal providers are able to generate some fees so that they're able to, you know, pay for their infrastructure costs. I think it's very important. In terms of the last proposal, FIP01, Flare Improvement Proposal, there was actually quite an overwhelming support, and I'm sure you're all aware about this. We have 93% voting yes, and only 7% voting no. One thing that I was a bit surprised about, only 17% of people voted. So don't let this be you. If you do have an opinion, maybe you agree with a proposal or you disagree with a proposal, but if you don't vote, then your voice isn't heard. So I believe the lock-in block for the Songbird proposal was this Saturday, but that is coming up. So I'll create a quick tutorial on how to do this, but it's a very simple process. Some news here, maybe not the best news for many people. The FTSO Reward Manager contract was actually halted on the Flare network and also on the Songbird network as a precaution. Now, what does this mean? Well, there's a new contract that's actually being deployed, and a lot of people may be wondering why the SGB rewards have recently declined. And it is because this FTSO reward contract has been redeployed. Now, in the previous one, many of you will realize or remember that the rewards that were unclaimed after 90 days would actually get distributed to delegators on the first day of the epoch. That's why we have this boosted distribution, or we used to have, right? Now, with the new contract, none of these rewards have expired yet. So on that first day, you're not getting that boost that you may be used to. So I believe we're going to have to wait 90 days since the deployment to even get a chance of seeing some of these rewards again. Now, it is what it is, and it's not that big of a deal because at the end of the day, it does reduce the inflation, I guess. But also, it's, you know, everyone's in the same boat. So it's not like you're missing out. Everyone's in the same boat. So it is what it is. It's better to find these issues and get them fixed. And they did say that it hasn't been exploited. They found the bug, they fixed it before anything actually happened. So that is certainly reassuring. Here we have a banker DeFi, aka Ash. He's actually quite the legend in the space, and he's been doing an initiative where he's trying to survey all of the signal providers to get a little bit more information about, what they actually do, how they operate, their costs, and their plans for building on the Flare network in the future, so that we can actually make an informed decision about who to delegate to. And at the end of the day, the delegators, you and I, we're in control of who receives the delegation, right? There are some bad actors in the space, and if you are delegating to them, you're essentially exacerbating the problem, because if you change your delegation to a signal provider that is ethical, let's say, you're sort of taking the power away from the bad actors. So that's something to note, and I'm probably going to make a video on that specific topic in the near future too. Speaking of NFTs, let's give the NFT dashboard a quick refresh. This is in the past 7 days, and it looks like the oracles are topping the charts. In second place, the Fat Tigers. In third place, we have the Flare Punks. In fourth place, we have the Super Bad Monsters. And in fifth place, the Canary X Founder NFTs. It looks like the Fat Cats have been just squeezed off into a sixth place there. 2 out of the top 5 collections are actually on the Flare network. Very interesting. Hopefully we can see the Flare Community Lucky Claw NFT collection get into this top 5. Time will tell. One of my favorite projects here is the Pixel Plants NFT project, and if many of you realize, there is actually a pinned comment on this on the chat right now. We actually reached £1,000 reached, I guess, for the Flare Community Save the Children fundraiser, and I did commit to providing 3 months of support. So that's from the start of the year up until March, but I am extremely proud of everyone who donated, because it is quite a large number. £1,000 can go a long way, especially for people in these poorer countries. So I would just like to say a big thank you to all those who donated. The fundraiser is going to continue. We'll see what price we can get to at the end, but I just thought that was worth sharing, because it really is a good cause. And I'd like to say a big special thank you to Doc Bob D, who donated some of the sales from the Pixel Plant NFT project. He donates to numerous charities. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. Lots of great combinations here. Obviously, Martha Costin there. I think I make a special appearance in some. You've got Hugo as well. Definitely worth checking out. Solidify here. It's a mobile app. They've basically announced support for a browser. So browser support, so you're going to be able to log into all of your favorites NFT platforms, DeFi platforms, using this app. It's sort of trying to rival Bifrost, but it's sort of specified to just a couple of assets. You've got the XRP ledger, but they've got trust line functionality as well, which I don't think Bifrost has. And then they also support Songbird and also Flare. So great job from them. I have this app. I think it's pretty good, if I'm honest. Equally as good as Bifrost. But it's great to see more entities that are providing these sort of applications for everyone to use, and I think that's a trend that we're going to see as the Flare network continues to get exposure. Here we go. We have Oracle Swap introducing the Oracle Swap NFT profit multi-staking system. This is pretty interesting. If you do have Oracle NFTs, definitely worth putting them to work and getting some assets in return. So just thought I'd mention that in case it slipped through anyone's net. This is going to be a little bit interesting. So I know some of you aren't on Twitter, but for those who are, I've actually been donating tips, 2 tips every day in the form of, well, it used to be in XRP. These days it's in Casino Coin and also Ribbits from the Xtoads project. And unfortunately, the Twitter API, which I use to send these tips, and the the tip bot uses to sort of acknowledge these tips is sort of maybe becoming a paid service. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. It is on February the 9th. I'll keep you updated, and we'll see what happens. This is important for anyone that's delegating to the fat cats. They've actually basically said that you shouldn't delegate to them. I believe that they had a developer, or part of the collusion problem, where the developers were, or a certain developer was penetrating a number of signal providers, and they sort of renounced ownership of their old signal provider. The current one, I believe they're deactivating it. So pretty much if you are part of the Fat Cats crew and you are delegating to them, best to pick another delegator in the meantime. This is big news coming from, I guess, XDC Foundation and the Flare finance team. Public beta testing for the FLR wrap bridge connecting the Flare networks, this is the Coston testnet, to the XDC network, was announced by FLR Finance. So this is something to really be excited about, because it's going to bring a new wave of, I guess, community members. You know, a lot of people are part of the XDC community, and I feel like we did have someone in the chat actually a bit further up. But yeah, it's going to be great to sort of bring them sort of this give them an insight to this technology. Flare Finance, they're doing a great job. I'm really looking forward to seeing the APY cloud launch, to be honest. But still, FLR Wrap is going to be a great addition, and it's going to bring a wave of new liquidity, new users, and yeah, it's going to be fun. Finally, staying on the theme with FLR Finance, we have FLR Drops on Coston. It's actually now testing with XFi as a token. So if you are holding XFi, you're going to be able to make listings for NFTs and also buy NFTs with XFi. So I think this is a great addition, another use case for XFi. And as you all know, there is a snapshot that is either ongoing or is potentially finished. But still, you know, I think XFi is an asset to look out for, especially once the APY cloud does go live. So that is pretty much this week's news. What I'm going to be doing actually is I'm going to be putting this first NFT, Lucky Ball number 1. I'm going to be putting this as an auction shortly after this stream ends, a 24-hour auction for those who may want to get in early, but it is it's going to be interesting. You know, the launch, as I said before, is probably going to happen tomorrow night, exclusively for the Patreon family. The day after, we're going to have the launch for the YouTube members, and the day after that, the public sale. So stay tuned. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. It's going to be an interesting week for sure. But with that being said, if you are part of the Patreon family, do come over to Discord. We've got the Patreon call here where we all have a good old chinwag and talk about the week's news. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week. You know, I know it's Monday, but it is what it is, you know. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you up to date with the proposal and all that good stuff. And I'll keep you up to date with the timings as well for the mint. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.